UFC 319. In the main event, the middleweight champion, Dricus Plesis, will defend his belt against Khamzat Chimaev. He faces the undefeated 16-0 Khamzat Chimaev. This is a badass fight, and the fight you've all been waiting for. UFC 319. UFC 319.
Guys, UFC 319, Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis goes down this Saturday. Shout out to El Crete for that edit. But guys, let's get right into the main event breakdown on, in my opinion, the best fight in the last 7 years of MMA. The most complexing, the most tricky, the most hard to predict. The fight I stayed up till 5 in the morning yesterday studying the fights. And after all of the time, it's actually gotten way closer in my head, even the more as time gone on. And I didn't even think it could get closer, because this is as 50-50 as a fight can get. I see a lot of people saying Khamzat Chimaev is going to win by a submission in the first round, or Dricus is going to win by a decision, or Dricus is going to win by late TKO, or Chimaev is going to win in the fight early. I'm here to tell you, Chimaev is going to win this fight by a decision. I know I did this with Ilya, and everyone flamed me because I picked Ilya to beat Charles by decision, but because I believed Ilya would wrestle more, and because I knew it was a sneaky pick. I knew reality, Charles would actually knock out Islam in the first round. This one, I actually don't think Chimaev is going to finish Dricus in 2 rounds. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Dricus du Plessis, mate. I think he's too good, bro. I think he's just got too much to lose, and he's got a lot of blood on him, mate. And I think he's got a really good shot at winning this fight. And I think he's going to win at least 2 rounds in this fight. But I think Khamzat Chimaev is going to pull through, man. I think he's going to pull through. I think he's designed to become a champion. The way his fucking fight style is. And don't get me wrong, I can see a world where Dricus can slow this down to a really technical striking match and Dricus can win the fight. But I just think they're going to try and fuck each other up. And if they do, I just think Khamzat Chimaev wins the fight at somehow, some way. I just think he wins. Decision, submission. I don't believe his cardio falls off of a cliff. And let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into their striking first, because a lot of people aren't talking about their striking. I actually believe Khamzat's the way better and cleaner boxer. If you watch the way they strike, Khamzat is much better at boxing from both southpaw and orthodox, although he's much better from southpaw. Dricus does land his shots much more tricky, and he's more effective than Chimaev is. That's one thing I'll give him. He's way more effective on the feet than Chimaev is. But Chimaev is more accurate, and he does have more technique. And that can lead you in a fight where you're getting hit a lot. The more technical, the more precise looking punches are going to look better to the judges. And in a fight that I think is going to the scorecards, I think every single strike will matter against each other. And I think Chimaev's punches are going to look better. His knees aren't going to look as good. Dricus has the kicks, in my opinion. Dricus is a better kicker, better to the legs. Chimaev doesn't really kick to the body. He kicks to the head very occasionally on 5-foot Gilbert Burns. But I think Khamzat Chimaev is going to go out there in the first round, and I think he's going to have a pretty scramble-ish first round where he's letting go of submissions constantly. He's never biting on a submission on Dricus. And I think there will be a point in the first round where Khamzat tries a darce on Dricus, but I actually think Dricus is going to end up on top. I think Dricus will end up on top, but Chimaev is very quickly going to scramble out, and I think he'll end up getting on top of Dricus or getting back to his feet. I think regardless of what he does, he gets back to his feet. He gets back to top position over Dricus. I think regardless, the way it goes is either Chimaev will stall out the round on the feet and win the rest of the round, or he'll just hug Dricus on the ground and win the round. And the commentary might be like, oh man, Chimaev's just laying on him, dude. Chimaev's looking like he's breathing a bit heavy, and Chimaev will look like he's breathing a bit heavy. But so will Dricus. I think it's going to be a very high-paced grappling first round. And it's very possible Chimaev does just submit Dricus early. That's what everyone's going with. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think Dricus got too much heart, mate. And I think At some point in the second round, you're going to be like, okay, hold on. Dricus might have something. But I think people are forgetting how easy Chimaev can get takedowns on guys like Kamaru fucking Usman, who has like a 97% takedown defense, or like a 96. He's got insane takedown defense. And the only one that ruined that stat was Chimaev, and Edwards got one takedown. Colby should have got one, but Colby didn't even get control over Usman. Chimaev almost finished Usman on the ground and standing off and on his back. So I think Chimaev is just so dangerous, so varied, that I think there will be very, very, especially, I was watching a lot of tape, right? And Dricus is very good at feeding an underhook when he's trying to build up. When Whitaker took him down, he threatened the guillotine. Whitaker hopped over to the side. Dricus posted with the arm and used the underhook. And there is no taking the back when there's an underhook. If someone has an underhook, taking their back is not an option. So I think Dricus is going to use that underhook to fend off Chimaev off the back. You literally cannot take the back of someone if they have an underhook. Like, that's just straight up a fact. If anyone denies me on that, you're a fucking retard and you've never fought a day in your life. But yeah, that's how it is. Chimaev will, at some point, threaten a Darce choke because Dricus is threatening that underhook. And I think when Dricus does that, I think another thing, but I'll get on to that after. I think Dricus is going to get out of the Darce choke. I think Dricus is going to turn around, and I think he's going to have to post on an arm. And I think what a lot of people aren't talking about is the Dagestani handcuff in this fight. Chimaev uses it very well, just like Khabib and just like Islam. He's one of the best in the sport at using it. He will do it to Dricus, and Dricus actually does this move. He did it to Izzy, he did it to Strickland. He's done it a couple of times. And I think he's even done it to Darren Till. He did it to Darren Till standing. He held Darren Till's arm and was just smashing him. But the thing is with Dricus is I think he's going to try and get up, posting, and I think Chimaev is going to flatten him out and land a couple of shots. I think Chimaev will ride out round 2 and pretty clearly win it. But I think you're going to see at the end of round 2, Chimaev's like breathing pretty heavy, you know what I mean? And then I think round 3, Dricus is going to actually start to stop Chimaev's takedowns. I think Dricus is going to land a lot of leg kicks in this round. I think he'll land a nice shot or two. And I think Dricus is going to land a bunch of kicks and basically outstrike Chimaev in the third round. And the commentary's going to go, uh-oh, tide's changing. And I think that's basically how round 4 is going to go. I think round 4 is going to be another Dricus kind of jabbing up Chimaev, even though he's looking tired. Chimaev's tired as well. I think he's going to stop 2 of Chimaev's takedowns in the 4th round. But I think there's going to be a point, I was watching their fights. Dricus, when he gets tired, and they both are going to get tired in this fight. It's not a doubt in my head. If this fight goes late, they're both going to get tired. They're going to fight at such a fast pace in the first 2 rounds. I think Chimaev is going to start jabbing Dricus from southpaw. And Dricus does try and catch and shoot a lot like Peter Yan. And I think if he tries to catch and shoot one of Chimaev's shots, people forget, man. Chimaev's got power on the feet. He knocked out Ikram Aliskerov with one punch. If he chinned Aliskerov with one shot, if he standing jab Burns with a southpaw jab and dropped him, if he fucking has moments like this where he's just rocked guys, GM3 laid him out stiff with one punch. I know it's GM3, but still. No one's doing that to GM3, man. And don't get me wrong, I think Dricus has fought the better level of competition. I think Dricus has a very good chance of winning this fight. It's as 50-50 as it can be in my head. But I think in the 4th round, when Chimaev is probing that jab, I think Dricus du Plessis will try and counter very heavy and lean in. And I think Chimaev's going to meet him down the middle with an uppercut and drop him. I think it'll be the first knockdown of Dricus du Plessis' career that he suffers. I think he's going to get dropped badly but survive. I think he's going to get dropped and Chimaev's going to get on him, start smashing, throwing punches, right? Dricus is going to shoot a takedown, try and get up. Chimaev's still smashing. Chimaev's going to try and roll him over. I think he'll probably use like a full Nelson to probably roll him over. And I think Chimaev, he will try and ground and pound Dricus. And I think when he doesn't finish him, he is going to be super tired. I think Chimaev is going to be insanely tired at the end of round 4. He almost finishes Dricus, but Dricus is going to survive. And I think round 5, Dricus is going to go for broke and try and knock Chimaev out. I think he's going to land bombs on Chimaev. I think he's going to land big shots. I think Chimaev's going to land some big shots on him. I think Dricus is going to really badly stumble Chimaev at the end of the fight. I think he's going to be like, oh, Chimaev, if the clock was any longer, Chimaev would have lost this fight. I think it's gonna be like Makhachev and Volk, where he gets clipped on coming into a takedown. I'm gonna say he kind of avoids a knockdown because he's shooting that takedown, but he gets really badly rocked, and I think Dricus is gonna be pounding shots on him late. I think Chimaev will have a swollen eye, but I think Chimaev will win the fight 48-47. Unanimously, actually, I'm going to say, on the scorecards. I think Chimaev is going to get this one done by a unanimous decision win, 48-47. I think after one of the best fights in UFC history, and I think Khamzat Chimaev completes his destiny and becomes the undisputed middleweight champion. Do I think he fights fucking JDM and shit? No. Do I think he goes up and fights fucking Ank? No. I just think he keeps on defending the belt at light heavyweight, or at middleweight. I do hope Dricus wins this fight. It pains me to pick against you, bro. Mate, I wanted to pick you so bad, bro. I have a couple of bets on you, bro. So don't lose. I got a bet on Chimaev too, though. But regardless, this is one of the best fights you can ever match. This is the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Plot armor, Kung Fu Panda, Poe versus Tai Lung, dude. This is all over again. One of the best fights you can ever watch in UFC history. Guys, tune in this Saturday or tonight. Come watch Lerone go 17-0, mate. Come watch Carlos practice, smoke a nice ciggy. And come watch a lot more fun fights on the card. Thank you guys so much for watching. UFC Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev goes down in a couple of hours. One more thing. What the fuck? What the hell is going on with the UFC site over here? Yeah, man. I'm going to be not changing anything. Never mind. I was thinking I'm going to change Andrade and Lupi because I do think Andrade might win. I've got a bad feeling Andrade is going to win, but I'll keep it. I don't think I can go 2 women's underdogs in a row and hurt myself. But yeah, man, that's it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is it, man. UFC 319, the fight I've been talking about for years, or months. Not years, months. It's here, man. See you guys in the next time. Peace.